Hey everyone, welcome to the drum part overview for the song So Will I 100 Billion Times. This is a great song. Honestly, I think it's my favorite worship song in the last 100 years. Not that I've been alive that long, but anyway. The song is a quarter note click at 128 BPM. And the song is really simple. It's comprised of many builds and rolls and a lot of like 16th notes on your snare drum and things like that. And I'm going to break all those down in the in-depth tutorial, and you can also join me in the play along. But the thing that I want to tell you is be cognizant of the breaks. I would listen to the song and write lyrical cues and keep a notepad beside you if you don't have a super strong familiarity with the song, so that as you're listening to the lyrics, you know when to bring in your cymbal swells, when to bring in your ride cymbal, when to bring in your builds, and when to bring in your standard grooves. You'll hear some grooves played in our Worship Solutions recording that might be slightly different than the United version and the Hillsong Live version. What we tried to do is create a hybrid of those more familiar recordings and break them down into like one kind of drum morsel that you could play as a drummer of all skill levels. If you want to incorporate some of the programmed elements or some of the percussion elements, there's like this kind of tom stab that happens in the first like musical channel and in the second verse that you'll hear. It's like a, like that kind of in the snare groove, but we didn't do that in the tutorial. That's for you to kind of dissect and decide whether you want to bite that off, if you can chew it. The idea though would be that if you have a percussionist in your church or another drummer that possibly can be scheduled with you, you'll notice that a lot of the Hillsong stuff and even some of the Bethel stuff incorporates live drummer and percussion player, and that gives you an opportunity to kind of give them some guidance so they're not overplaying and they're staying with the pocket and staying with the parts written within a song. The only thing you really need to watch out for are those places where to build, those places where to, bring in the 16th note kind of groove with 4 on the floor or whatever. And then finally it opens up on the very last chorus. It opens up into a really sweet groove that I'll play for you right now. It's just an interesting kick pattern. Most worship songs have something simpler, and I really dig this pattern. That's basically it. It's like an A phrase and a B phrase, and it's A-A-A-B. And if you can learn that, it's really great. If you go to a church that has a little bit more freedom of arrangement, your worship leader might ask you to bring that groove in sooner in the song so that the song kind of reaches a peak sooner than the long 7.5-minute arrangement. So be mindful to know what they're talking about when they're talking about the groove of the song. And you can join me in the in-depth tutorial. We're going to break down the nuance of the builds and the fills and things like that. And if you already feel like you got a handle on it and you just want to check out the play along, I'll see you there.